In this lecture, you will understand what is Node.js, what it is comprised of, and what makes it stand apart from a lot many other technologies out there. If you open the homepage of nodejs.org, the first thing that is presented to you is the definition of Node.js that reads, Node.js is a JavaScript runtime built on Chrome's V8 JavaScript engine. Node.js uses an event-driven, non-blocking I/O model that makes it lightweight and efficient. Node.js's package ecosystem, NPM, is the largest ecosystem of open source libraries in the world. So the first thing is that it is not a programming language. Instead, it is a runtime for running JavaScript code. And this runtime is based on Google Chrome's V8 engine. Now, what is this V8 engine? Every browser has an engine that can run the underlying JavaScript code. One of the more efficient ones is Google Chrome's open source high performance V8 engine that is actually written in C++. So when Node.js was founded, this high performance V8 browser engine was taken, and with the addition of a few libraries, it was implemented as a server or as a standalone process. This meant that in addition to just running JavaScript, Node could interact with the file system, with the network, and other hardware, and all using plain old JavaScript. It is important to note here that you need not know or learn C++ to write Node.js code. The next thing that the definition says is that it is event-driven, in which certain kinds of objects called emitters periodically emit named events that cause function objects to be called. The simplest form of an event that can be imagined is opening of a file. As soon as the file is opened, it triggers a named event that can be picked and processed. Likewise, there are events that get triggered for every I/O operation on Node, and until that event is triggered, Node keeps processing other requests or other lines of code. The last thing is that it uses a non-blocking I/O model. I/O refers to any operations that the program has to perform on the hardware. Traditionally, whenever an I/O operation takes place, the rest of the program is kept on hold until that I/O operation is complete. This is called blocking. Blocking occurs when the execution of one set of JavaScript code freezes the execution of further lines of code until it completes. In Node.js, all of the I/O methods in the standard library have asynchronous versions that enable writing non-blocking code. This results in a functionality where the Node engine is working on I/O and that does not freeze the execution of the rest of the code. It can and it does keep working on the rest of the JavaScript code while I/O is being taken care of. It runs single-threaded, non-blocking code that is both memory and time efficient. I will demonstrate exactly how this works in a later lecture once we install Node.js. Now, what makes Node so popular? Earlier, in plain old JavaScript, you could write code restricted to the browser environment. But with Node, you can do much more similar to other programming languages like Java, Python, or PHP. You can manipulate file systems, interact with system-level sockets, and of course in a much more efficient way. And you can do all of this using the same syntax as JavaScript. To top this, there is a Node ecosystem that consists of thousands of useful libraries that can be used using the Node package manager. All of these features makes Node what it is today. That being said, you will see all of this in action writing code yourself throughout this course. That brings us to the end of this lecture. Hope you enjoyed this. Thank you.